That's a new sound for us. That's definitely a new sound for us. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our final episode of this semester.
No, don't say it like that.
And your final episode with me, because your girl graduated just yesterday. And yeah, it's been a really great semester, great spring semester, a lot of classes. I took the max of my units. I think it was 20 or 21. And we did a podcast. We, went through all of these amazing events.
You were a keynote speaker as well for some events, Ghana.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yes.
So definitely congratulations to our 2026 graduates. And I'm really excited. Yeah, so today we actually have Lilith Sanchez here, who's working for a marketing and public relations department. And if you're following our social media, she's the person who makes the best pictures from all of the events. So she's here with us today to talk more about the graduation, share her, experience, how she liked it. But first, let's learn more about Lilith.
Hey, Lilith.
Hi. So,
how are you?
I'm good.
That's
I'm good.
good.
A little tired, but this is my first year actually here at San Jose City College. I'm a studio arts major. I'm planning to transfer to CSU Long Beach at the end of the next academic year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I do want to be a photographer when I eventually graduate from.
And you're a great photographer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Really doing great pieces for your portfolio.
Thank you. I'm really happy to have my job here. This has given me a great opportunity to really expand my work portfolio and really build up my style for commercial work.
Yeah.
I haven't done that many events personally, but I've really had a great time working here.
Yeah. Oh, no, you've definitely captured a lot of great moments. Definitely, one I can for sure share that I treasure is the one when we ended up announcing the award, and Ghana and I, we're all doing the podcast, and you capture that photo, and I remember like a couple weeks after, like, I have something for you, La Torre. I'm like, what is it? And I see, I'm like, oh. Yes, you're a great photographer, and I have that photo framed in my office next to a really nice gift that Ghana as well provided. So.
Yeah, I also have it in my room, and I'm really excited to know when we'll be moving either to dorms or into my own apartment. We'll see. I'm excited to put it on my wall to have all those memories.
That makes me really happy.
So we had a lot of graduations at SJCC. I heard it was about 20 or so.
I think so.
Yeah, and you took so many pictures for all of them, right? Could you share with us what were your favorite moments, some insights?
Yeah. So one of the big things about being a photographer here is that I have to capture a lot of the major events. And since it's graduation season, all of our major programs are having a bunch of fun events to celebrate their students.
Yeah.
I think by far my favorite one was the Raza commencement. I had such a great time photographing it. As a Latina, it's so empowering to see so many so many people who identify the same as me. And a lot of my friends were also graduating, so that was also extra special. The entertainment was amazing, the speakers were really good, and overall it was just a really fun experience. Yeah.
This is a time, everyone that's watching, where we're excited for all of our students, but we also miss our students because we're gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too. When I was preparing for this last episode, I was like, oh my God, this is really the last one.
For just a little bit, okay, Ghana? Yes.
Just for 4 semesters. Then I will be back. Or on Zoom. We'll see.
Yes. And so, Lilith, what does your summer look like right now?
Right now, I obviously have a little bit of break between right now and then the summer term. But I'm taking 2 courses. I'm taking a biology course and an art course. I cannot remember which one.
Yeah.
But only one of them's in person, the other one's online. But it's 4 days a week, so I'll be on campus a lot still.
And so it was your first time taking pictures at the commencement and overall being a part of the commencement?
It was. It was actually the first college commencement I'd ever attended.
Yeah, okay. What are your thoughts about it?
It was really powerful seeing it. It was really cool getting to see you speak up there. And you could really feel the energy and the sense of community that everyone had. Everyone was so excited, and you could feel the energy with everyone. I got to take a lot of group photos with a lot of the students, and you could see how happy they were, how happy everyone was to be celebrating.
Well, I saw you out there like in the football field.
Yeah.
When we were out there walking with all the faculty and everyone. And I saw Lilith. I'm like, Lilith, You're working out there. All the marketing team was working out there. Yeah.
Just running around up and
Running
down.
around,
Capturing all those photos of the video.
Yeah, and it was really warm, but I'm really excited, when all
And
the
you did great
pictures
up
are
there
gonna
on
be
stage. You
posted.
did fabulous.
You really
Thank
did.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm really so grateful that I was able to be in the shade, because honestly, I've been working the 2 previous commencements, and I remember myself running around and like filming something for social media, and it was so
It's
warm.
hot. And those are mornings, right? Like the past ones.
Yeah. And this year when we had it at 3 p.m. when I heard it, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be actually really warm this time.
It was.
It was like over 80 degrees, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Like 84.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah, so definitely for all the people who will be graduating next year, you need to bring sunscreen, hat, water, everything that you possibly can to keep yourself, chilly and not that.
Yeah. A nice cold water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a portable fan.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be ideal. Well, thank you for sharing your experiences
Of course.
with all the graduations that we had here at SJCC. I know it's been a lot, and for everybody who's curious to see some pictures, some moments that we had from the graduations this year, you can just go to our social media, and we've been posting a lot of pictures, a lot of videos from all the graduations. So if you just want to feel the vibe of what it feels like to be a part of SJCC, to be a part of some program, I think it's a really great way to, see yourself out there, that maybe at some point you want to join some of the program and graduate from that program as well.
Yes, definitely. And I also want to take this moment to say to Ghana, we're all beyond proud of you. I tell you, and I'm going to keep telling you, you've done so many great things. You're going to do and continue doing great things. Know that here at San Jose City College, you have a family. And everything that you do, I always see it. You do it with dedication, as well, with like focused. You're organized, and these are all great skills that I know are going to continue taking you further. Your next chapter is starting very, very soon, right? It's starting in the fall, but it just goes by. I know you're going to do great, and if you need something from us, we're here.
Yeah,
you got this.
I appreciate you guys.
You got this.
Yeah.
And you've been a fabulous co-host on this Take a Pause. Your idea, your creativity, this idea you brought to our campus has really brought us as well together. You made a huge positive impact. So we thank you for that. Thank you for everything that you've done.
Thank you as well for being my co-host.
It's been an honor.
And even though I will be leaving you guys.
Just for a little bit.
We will actually have a new co-host, Ariana, and let's go ahead and watch, a little bit to learn more, a little bit about her, because you will be seeing her starting this fall.
Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Mariana, and I'm excited to announce that I am the next co-host for Take a Pause. I am super excited. A little bit about me is I'm a second year at San Jose City College studying political science, but I absolutely love social media, so I'm really excited to start this, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode. Bye!
All right. Well, now to transition into our next segment, we're going to be hearing from our council member here at San Jose, from Pamela Campos. Listen, here we go.
Yeah, and she's been such an amazing speaker, so I really hope you will guys really enjoy what she has to share with all of us graduates, because she's a person who actually went to community college and then transferred to SJSU and now is taking a very important leadership position here at the city of San Jose. So I'm really excited for all of that, and definitely want to say thank you for such an amazing year and a half, I want to say. I really enjoyed being a part of it.
Yay, Ghana. We thank you for everything, Ghana. And again, you're only gone for a little bit, okay? Just a little bit.
I'll be back.
Yes.
I grew up where kids weren't expected to go to college. We just got whatever job we could to pay the bills. I felt I had no other choice. There was no role models to show me anything else. At San Jose City College, I experienced the transformational power of education. I was empowered when learning about social movements in this country, and I realized that I did have a choice. I decided then to forge my own path and become a role model for my family and for my community. Choose your own path. Discover your brilliance at San Jose City College.
Hello, everybody. And can you imagine it is already end of the spring 2026 semester?
Yes.
This is kind of insane, honestly. To already be in May and kind of prep for graduation. I know that around the campus we have dozens of celebrations for all the different communities, all the different learning centers. So definitely stay tuned and check out our Instagram, social media. We have a lot that is being posted about all those celebrations. And today we are actually dedicating this whole segment to our graduates. And so this is, of course, really exciting time for everybody who will be graduating from SJCC, whether with an associate degree, with a certificate. You guys really need to take a pause and just celebrate your achievements, right? This is so amazing. And today we actually have a very special guest who went through the community college herself, and then she transferred to SJSU, and now she is actually serving and representing District 2 at the City Council. So we are very excited and welcome Councilmember Campos today.
Yay! Thank you for coming.
It's so nice to be here with you all. It's such a nice room and beautiful weather in San Jose, like always.
And I saw your scrunchie.
Yes.
Jaguar print. Love it. Love it. Ooh, well, we're excited that you're joining us today because we have a lot to talk about, right? We have quite a bit. We want to get to know Councilmember Campos, don't we, Ghana?
Yeah. So we know that last month we've had this huge celebration with the ribbon cutting ceremony of the new CEC building. And I know we had, a lot of guests and such a great program there. So would you say, how did you feel about it? Because I know you were one of our guests there, right? And have you ever been on campus overall?
Yeah, it was a really exciting event, and it brought so much of the diversity, the multicultural wealth that we have in San Jose, with the lion dance, with baile folklorico, and the emphasis on it being a place for professionals to really elevate their role in the workplace as their students, because that's what we see sometimes at community colleges. We see people who are getting their foot in the door in the workforce, or they're trying to level up, and so it really helps make it a space for everybody at all ages, because really education never ends. It's forever, for life.
Yeah. This is so true. I mean, just of one of the examples, I'm really proud of my mom because she actually decided to take her first English second language class this semester. And even though she's never been to the new building, but she was like, I'm so excited because she already registered for fall, and she was like, I'm hoping I'm going to be in this new building. It's like, looks so fancy and interesting.
Yeah.
It's
my
nice
my dad started taking classes at Evergreen Valley College last year as well. So, our parents, sometimes we're their role models.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Councilmember Campos, I need to know. So you were able to visit the new building, right? It's a brand new building. It's gorgeous. There's so many spaces there. Can you give us a little bit of your outlook for some of our viewers who have not actually been to the actual location yet?
So it's definitely state of the art. It is everything that you would want in a space. It's got beautiful lighting, beautiful natural lighting that's inviting. It's got open spaces to connect, like places for students to hang out after class and share ideas or catch up. The classroom spaces are really well designed, and it's just like the model for what you think about as a California school. I think that's something that you see in movies all the time, right? The picturesque campus, and it really adds that element of like why people want to choose a school like San Jose City for their education.
Was there any particular location in the building or space that you're like, I can see like a family member of mine or a friend of mine here like studying? Any particular location?
Yeah, I really like the heart of the building, like where we had the opening ceremony, and there were plenty of chairs, but there was also like those steps that invited people to stay.
The interior part.
In the interior. Yeah. So even as the event ended, I saw folks were still lingering there. You could sit there and look up and see the birds flying across the building.
Yeah.
And so it's really nice because so many times folks overlook like places to stay and just, hang out in place. And so it's important. You need some place to not just take you from A to B, but like a place to hang out and have that third space.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
And we really want to know more about your personality and, all your journey from being the community college student to transferring to now being at the city council. I believe a lot of our students will get really inspired. Yeah. But first, I just want to ask you, had there been something that you've been passionate about and really excited about lately? It can be work-related or personal.
Yeah, well, it's graduation season, and so I am so excited that I was invited to be the commencement keynote speaker at the college that I graduated from. So I graduated from the College of Education at San Jose State, and so at the end of May, when the Lurie College of Education is having their graduation, I get to, revisit my campus and share some messages of encouragement. So right now our team is working through what that speech is going to be, because it's really meaningful to me almost 10 years after I graduated to be able to go back and see some of my professors and, just really experience this moment of joy with the new graduating class. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. And so, Councilmember Campos, looking back at your own journey, what were some of the biggest uncertainties you faced after college, and how did you navigate them?
So for me, as someone who studied child development and really fell in love with everything that I was learning and doing in that space, I was really discouraged when I graduated with a bachelor's degree and couldn't find a job that would help me move out of my parents' house. I found like so much power in the work that I was doing as an early care educator, because one of the pieces of information that really stuck with me from my classes at San Jose State in child development was one course I took called Risk and Resilience. And in that class, we learned that 90% of the brain develops in the first 5 years. And so when you are able to make sure that from birth and in those first 5 years, we're setting kids and their families up for success, it has the power to change their worlds and thus changing our communities and our worlds for the better. But I worked in a sector that is predominantly women-led, predominantly immigrant women, people who are learning English as a second language. And again, we were making poverty-level wages at about $16, $17 an hour back in 2017. And no matter what school or what city I looked at, it was, pretty slim pickings across this field. And that's what really pushed me into policy and advocacy position that I'm in now, because I also heard from the side of the parents that childcare is too expensive. And, we live in San Jose in the Silicon Valley, where housing is already a huge expense on families. And when you add a child, and childcare could be between $2,000 and $4,000 a month, that's a second mortgage that families are having to pay. But that money isn't, going to the pockets of the preschool teachers. Right. And so that is some of the challenges that I faced in getting out into the workforce and thinking about how I was going to spend, the rest of my life, because growing up, I constantly heard, go to school, go to college, get a degree, and then everything will be okay. But I got my degree and everything was not okay. I was, struggling to find a job that was going to help me stay and not just survive, but thrive in San Jose, because that's the American dream. That's, the promise that I believe I have a right to. And so that's what I fight for now on the city council, is making sure that these issues that are impacting young people, whether it's, the housing that's unaffordable or the childcare that's preventing people from being able to start families, that we're making real progress towards addressing the issues that people are talking about every single day.
Yeah, I feel like it is definitely very confusing for people when they hear that, if you follow this traditional pathway of going to college and then graduating, you can secure a position, right, with a being paid very well and like being able to survive in the Silicon Valley. And that's why I think it is really important for people to hear that, you know, we have some issues, but there is something that you can do as well as, you know, as a new graduate. You can definitely go ahead and advocate and be just like civically engaged, even if it's like a local level, even if it's your district level. I feel like it's really important for people to kind of get inspired and get this idea that you actually can make a difference, even if you're a college student. And of course, next I have a question about more like the community college students, right? As we graduate with our associate degrees or, for example, some other degrees, I know that many people are thinking whether or not they should go and pursue the higher education and transfer to a four-year university. And I feel like you have a very point, you know, that you've been to De Anza and then you transferred to SJCU. In your opinion, what would be the best advice that you can give them?
So for folks who are thinking about, you know, whether they want to transfer from a community college or go straight into the workforce, I mean, honestly, both are good options. And the advice I would give is listen to yourself and what you think is right for you in that moment, because what's right for you may not be the same thing that's right for someone else. And you shouldn't make a decision based on what's right for anyone else other than yourself. So when I was making the decision of transferring college, I was fortunate to have been accepted to schools across the state. I had acceptance letters from Humboldt State, UC Santa Cruz, San Jose State. Those were some of the schools that I was really excited about potentially attending. And, you know, ultimately, I based my decision on factors that mattered most to me. So I wanted to study child development. I couldn't get that degree at UC Santa Cruz, but I could find it at Humboldt or San Jose State. Humboldt has a really small airport, and back then when I was making this decision in like my early 20s, I was like, and I still am very family oriented. So I was like, do I want to live somewhere that's like 6 hours away by car? And I don't know like how often I could fly out. Those are the things that like I was thinking for myself, what's in my best interest, because I want to get a certain kind of degree. I want to, you know, eventually I knew that even after my degree, I wanted to live in San Jose because that's where all my family is. And so all of that led to me to make the decision that San Jose State was going to be the best school for me to transfer to. But again, you know, sometimes people are making these decisions and they've already got a family. And if the associate's degree is, you know, the only thing that they need to get them to that next level, maybe there will be another moment in time where going on to achieve a bachelor's level degree or more is going to be that right step for them. But it's a case-by-case basis. And really the ultimate, you know, advice is trust yourself and trust the path that you're on, and make sure that the choices that you're making reflect your own best interest. Because, you know, as an older sister, I'm so used to putting other people's
Are you the oldest?
interest. I am the oldest.
Ah, I can relate.
Yeah.
We're all the oldest.
I can relate. Okay, we can all relate.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta be okay with putting yourself first. And, you know, that's what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah,
that's true.
I like how you shared, you know, like finding what's going to be best for you, right? Your interests. Because what I can relate with as being the oldest, when I was transferring from my community college to deciding on a 4-year, the three universities that I was just focused on, they all had a great department, which I wanted to focus on in my discipline, which is comm studies. But they were different. Some were not close by. I mean, I would have to commute. I would even have to move. One was like maybe 30 minutes from my home. Like, okay, they all sound great. And I was in that same situation. Like, where do I go? I want to be with family. I need to be with family. But I also need to think about me and my goals, right? But yeah, at the end of the day, I had to think about that choice. What is going to be best for my interests? So I like that. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And then I know we were chatting before our interview, and I got to learn more about you as well, and I appreciate it. So I was curious, and I was sharing with Ghana and I was learning you're going to be one of our guests. I'm like, this is great. I'm like, I need to know more about our council member Campos, because one thing for me is I shared with you, I worked in recreation for one of the cities I used to live in, and I worked out there for several years, and I did recreation. So we would put like city events. So I know you're attending a lot of city events happening, right? I know like this summer, you're as well, the city of San Jose is going to have recreation opportunities. Maybe in the fall as well, after school programs, several things, right? And so one thing I know for me is when I actually graduated with my associate degree and I was working already on my bachelor, I actually started working with the city. And that's when I started doing myself, those getting my foot in the door with finding more recreation, and then led into the broadcasting. So that was interesting to know more about you. I'm like, that's great. We got to learn more. But my question would be, a lot of students don't see the government as a space for them, especially coming from community college. What is one thing you wish you knew earlier before entering city council and taking your current role?
I experienced this firsthand when I was running for office, and I assumed that just being a young candidate, my picture or showing up at the door and engaging with young voters would be an automatic in and getting them excited and motivated to vote. And I realized that it takes a lot more than that. And so the thing that I wish I knew, and I'm learning and building this with the community, is that people they think the most important thing in government work is trust. And trust, as we know, it's not given, it's earned most of the times. And to earn the respect takes time. And so it's like not taking relationships for granted, because that's what makes a community. It's the people. And so that's why I wish that more young people saw themselves reflected in the government that is here for all of us, whether you're voting age, whether you can vote or not. Government is supposed to reflect the people. And so I've been really inspired by the work of our youth commission, trying to bring more of the youth voices into our policy making, our decision making, and how we're prioritizing the work at the city council. Because so many of the decisions that we make are decisions that are impacting us on a daily basis, but are also decisions that are going to carry us forward into the future. And so that's why it's so important that we have youth voices at the table, because those are the people who are going to be most impacted by a decision that we make today that we're going to see in 30 years from today. And so I am really excited to be in this work and talking to youth leaders in the nonprofit space, in the political space, in the education space, because some of the least likely to vote are our 18 to 35-year-old voters. And we're the group that's most impacted by some of the issues that elected officials are voting on, like we mentioned earlier: housing, childcare, public health. All of this is, policy work that impacts us on a daily basis. And so, really, really excited to be in an election year and start to do some of that work to revitalize young people and feeling, the power that comes with casting their ballot and making their voice heard.
Definitely. And Councilmember Campos, are there any recreation opportunities for our students, internships that maybe they'd definitely be interested in checking out?
Definitely. The city of San Jose has a lot of recreation and volunteer internship opportunities over the summer through our Viva Parks. Our Parks and Rec department hosts events throughout the city. And I've seen a lot of high school students participate in that. We've also seen at the regional level the Norman Mineta Summer Bay Area Academy. There is opportunities for high school youth. There's opportunities for college aged students. And so there are so many opportunities. That is also one of the hidden gems of government, is that oftentimes these are paid internships that look great on a resume. And so getting that information out to more young people, because over the summer, most people want a job. And, whether you go to Jamba Juice or the city of San Jose, it's your time, and knowing all of the options so that you can make the decision that's best for you is definitely something that we want more young people to take advantage of.
Yeah, that's true. And I know you've already mentioned it a little bit, how you graduated, and, you know, since you started looking for jobs, you kind of realized that, you know, we need to make some changes on the government level. And I think my next question would be, can you share, you know, the moment with us when you decided to run for the office? Did you have any of the thoughts previously when you were in the community college, or it basically happened when you were at SJSU or after you graduated?
Or was there like an aha moment?
Well, I mean, it really was a couple of aha moments. And one of them was in my last year at San Jose State, because that was 2016. And I went to bed having cast my ballot thinking we had just voted in the first woman president, and, you know, we were making this historic vote. And so when I woke up and realized that wasn't the case, I thought, oh my gosh, I need to do more than just vote, because, you know, we need to make sure that leadership at every level of government really reflects the needs of the people. And so I started my work in policy and advocacy on childcare and childcare facilities. And over a few years of working in other cities, I wanted to find a way to reconnect to San Jose, the city where I lived and grew up. I was involved in a mayoral race in 2022. We were again, looking at increasing the representation of women on city council. At the time, there were 5 women on city council, and it's a governing body of 11 people. So in that 22 election, there was a chance to have 7 women on city council, including a female mayor, which in our 250-year history, San Jose's only had 2 women as mayor. And so I was really excited, again, thinking I was part of this historic election. And on election night, we didn't get the results we wanted. And so I thought about just how exciting it was to be part of a campaign and to be part of like that hope for change, because, you know, going back to when I was a student at San Jose State, there was an extra credit opportunity to go to a child abuse prevention symposium. And one of the speakers was Cindy Chavez, then supervisor, who I supported when she was running for mayor in 2022. And so when I heard her speak and talk about her work as an elected official, as someone in government who really leads with improving the lives of children, youth, and families, she's a main reason for why in the city of San Jose, children have access to health care regardless of their immigration status. That was one of her key policies. And so it was leaders like Cindy Chavez who inspired me to think about my own leadership. And once, you know, the dust settled on that race, we went from having 5 women on city council to 3. And that for me was like the turning point, because I thought there's no way that we're not going to have a feminist representing like District 2 on the San Jose City Council, because that's my district and I'm going to do everything it takes to get that person elected. And so started asking around and figuring out who's going to run, because I really want to support. And when that candidate didn't rise, didn't, you know, come up, I started asking myself, why can't it be me? Like, what are the reasons why? You only have to be 18, a citizen and a resident of the district. And I checked all those boxes. And so I didn't put any limits to like why or why not. I asked my family, what do you guys think? Would you support me if I made this decision to run for office? They were all in. And then, you know, the rest is history. It was a truly grassroots campaign. We had a lot of hurdles that we had to overcome, but it was all worth it, because, you know, the same year that I was elected, the person who kind of woke me up back in 2016 was reelected. And now, you know, I get to have a fighting voice and a fighting chance for our community at a time where, you know, sometimes our own governments are fighting each other. So it's good to have that local perspective and be able to uplift the stories that are so similar to mine and be a voice for people who sometimes don't see themselves in these spaces.
I feel like we need more inspiration, just like your case and all your role models for women who are currently going to college or graduated from college. Because just in March, right, we had a couple of women in leadership clubs that are based here at SJCC. And we've also talked to women in STEM. And it's a new club and they just created it recently, but the whole idea of why they kind of started it was because they did not see themselves being in those spaces because they're mostly male dominated. That's why I feel like it's very inspiring to hear the stories of how if you don't see this person kind of who can represent you there, you can be that person for yourself. And I feel like it's very important.
Mentorship is definitely needed. Mentorship.
Yeah. Well, and lastly, we'll just close up with this question because I feel like everybody is thinking, we just have commencement on May 21st, right? What would you say would be one piece of advice you would give to the person who graduates here right now, this month from SJCC, and what, kind of next steps that they can take?
Yeah. It's such an important question. And, sometimes it gives people so much anxiety to think about the answer. There's no right answer for, what the next chapter of your life is, because life is it's all about exploring. And so every next step you take is the right step. But for me, what has given me the most joy and purpose in my life, and again, it might be different for everyone, but I really enjoy being able to do the work that I wish someone was doing for me when I was a child. There's lots that I grew up with, again, being the eldest daughter in an immigrant family, whether it was translating for my parents, at Costco asking questions because, we needed to know where something was, and I was the person to go ask that. Whether it was looking at legal documents or looking at the laws and thinking like what's going to impact us when things change, things that brought joy, things that brought fear, things that brought a world of emotions in me. And sometimes it felt like no one saw or knew what I was going through, and like just having to carry all of that. So I'm sure we've all got stories of things that you went through when you were a child that shaped who you are now or impact the way you think about things. And so for me, again, like what brings me joy and purpose is reflecting on those experiences and trying to change it for better outcomes. Because at the end of the day, if we can create a world where every child has the opportunity to be the best version of themselves, it's going to create a world that everyone wants to live in. And sometimes we're not doing enough to build that world because young children aren't showing up to vote. They're not showing up to tell us what they need. But we have to think about them because one day they're going to take care of us. And so we have to take care of them. And again, that's what fills my heart with joy. Maybe it's different for everyone, but I think that it's, there's something to be said about what it looks like to make the world a better place for the next generation. And I think that's probably a good piece of advice for all of us to follow, because whatever path you take, whether you go into engineering or government or healthcare, like all of these jobs are for a greater purpose, and that purpose is community, and that purpose is sustaining our future. So just know that whatever path you take, it's the right path for you, because it's filling you up and helping you, leave behind something for the world for the future in whatever way that looks and feels right to you.
Oh, that's great. I mean, we appreciate it because this is really good feedback for not just our graduates, but also for our students who are still continuing, right, their journey towards their associate degree, their bachelor's, master's, higher education. So thank you. Well, as well, like always, Ghana, it's a pleasure working with you. Fabulous co-host. As well, Councilmember Campos, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And our viewers, stay tuned because we still have more events happening for the month of May, a lot of preparation for graduation, right? We're excited. We're celebrating all of our class of 2026. Congratulations. Woo!